Imagine investing in a product that is supposed to enhance your well-being, but instead it could even harm your body. The probiotic industry is worth billions, but how much truth is really behind the promises of these supplements? Stay tuned, as the answer may surprise you. Probiotics, living microorganisms that are said to strengthen the microbiome of our intestines, have gained significant popularity in recent years. These little helpers are often touted as miracle cures that not only improve our digestion, but also strengthen our immune system and elevate our mood. But what is the reality behind these claims? The gut microbiome is a complex community of trillions of bacteria, viruses, and other microbes. In fact, it contains more microbes than we have human cells. It is now beyond question how significant this microbiome is for our health. Surprising new studies repeatedly show how strongly it influences our health. But how helpful is it to intervene from the outside with so-called probiotics? Historically, the concept of probiotics was popularized in the early 20th century by scientists such as Elie Metchnikoff. Metchnikoff, a Russian biologist and Nobel laureate, is known for his research in immunology and his theory that certain bacteria, particularly from yogurt, could extend lifespan. He postulated that the fermentation of dairy products by probiotic bacteria not only promotes digestion, but also improves the health of the intestines and the entire body. Despite the growing popularity of probiotics, research in this area remains incomplete. Many studies show mixed results, and it is still unclear whether probiotics are truly as beneficial as often claimed. While some investigations document positive effects, there are also numerous studies that found no significant benefits. So, what do we really know about their effects? This is where current studies come into play, painting a more nuanced picture and helping us better understand the role of probiotics in the context of the microbiome. The results of Wukasik and his colleagues in the year 2024 illuminate a fascinating yet contradictory picture of probiotic use after antibiotic treatments. In their comprehensive analysis, the researchers examined the extent to which probiotic supplements can help regenerate the diversity of the microbiome disrupted by antibiotics. While some participants benefited from a partial restoration of bacterial diversity, others showed no improvements at all. The probiotics passed through the intestines without leaving any noticeable effect. This mixed finding highlights a central dilemma. The effect of probiotics is highly individual and can depend on various factors, such as the original composition of the microbiome, the type of antibiotics taken, and even the diet and overall health of the affected person. A simple example would be if a person with already limited microbiome diversity takes probiotics. While they may have a positive effect on someone with higher diversity, they could lose effectiveness in a less diverse environment and pass through the intestines unused. This variability emphasizes that probiotics do not represent a universal solution and that their application should be approached with caution. The belief that they are a magic bullet falters when considering that without personalized approaches, the likelihood of them being effective decreases. Here it becomes clear why a nuanced approach tailored to the individual characteristics of the microbiome is necessary. Important questions arise regarding the actual role of probiotics in the context of microbiome restoration, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of the factors that influence their effectiveness. To better understand the variable effects of probiotics, it is important to consider the individual differences in the microbiome. Anthony and his colleagues published a study in the year 2022 that provided a valuable piece of the puzzle. Their investigation clearly showed that the effect of probiotic supplements largely depends on the individual composition of the microbiome. This means that the balance and diversity of bacteria in a person's intestines determine whether and how well probiotics work. To illustrate this, one can think of the microbiome as a complex ecosystem, much like a dense rainforest. A probiotic introduced into such a diverse and robust system could harmonize with the already present microorganisms and contribute to stability. However, if a person's microbiome resembles a damaged landscape, for example, after antibiotic therapy or due to poor dietary habits, it may happen that the newly introduced bacteria find no suitable environment to establish themselves. This explains why some people notice an improvement after taking probiotics, while others feel no change at all. This insight highlights that the one-size-fits-all solution promised by many probiotic supplements does not exist. The individual differences in the microbiome, shaped by genetics, diet, lifestyle, and previous illnesses, play a crucial role. A practical example would be a person who regularly consumes fiber-rich foods compared to someone with a heavily processed diet. Their microbiomes would respond differently to the same probiotic treatment. However, while we consider the variability of probiotic effects, there is another alarming dimension that we must not ignore: the potential risks associated with antibiotic resistance. The investigation by Winston and colleagues in the year 2022 revealed an alarming dimension of probiotic use: the influence on resistance genes in the intestines after antibiotic therapy. While antibiotics are known to kill both harmful and beneficial bacteria in the intestines, the question arises as to how subsequent probiotic treatment affects the recovery of the microbiome. The results of this study showed that in probiotic users, not only was the recovery of microbial diversity slower, but the risk of an increase in antibiotic resistance genes also rose. These findings are particularly concerning as they challenge the common assumption that probiotics only have positive effects after antibiotic use. To illustrate, in an intestine weakened by antibiotics, various bacteria attempt to reestablish themselves. If probiotics containing only a few specific strains are administered, they may occupy niches without promoting overall diversity. In this restricted microbial environment, it is possible for bacteria to exchange resistance genes more easily, increasing the risk of genetic spread of such traits. This research underscores that the indiscriminate use of probiotics after antibiotics is not always a safe option. The targeted use of probiotics should be carefully considered, especially when there is a risk of promoting resistance. A deeper exploration of the mechanisms behind this resistance formation is necessary to understand how these risks can be minimized. What does this mean for practice? These results suggest that a differentiated approach to the use of probiotics after antibiotic therapies is required. In a further controlled study in the year 2024, John and his colleagues found how specific probiotic strains can support the rebuilding of the microbiome after antibiotic therapy. In their investigation, the researchers analyzed the effects of targeted probiotics on the preservation of beneficial bacteria in the intestines and the reduction of the proliferation of antimicrobial resistance genes. The results were encouraging. The administration of these specific probiotics helped stabilize microbial diversity and minimize potential risks. This is a significant step in understanding that not all probiotics are created equal. A fitting comparison would be the difference between a tailored medication and a generic pill. While generic probiotics may contain many different bacteria, specific strains are designed to achieve precise effects. John and his colleagues demonstrated that targeted probiotics, such as those with certain lactobacillus or bifidobacterium strains, can support the intestines in a way that goes beyond the effects of conventional, non-specialized products. The implications of this study highlight why an individualized approach to probiotic intake is crucial. A probiotic supplement that is beneficial for one person may be less effective or even ineffective for another. Factors such as the existing microbiome composition, genetic differences, and dietary habits play a significant role in this regard. Next, we will explore what alternatives exist and how sustainable recovery of the microbiome can be supported. Instead of relying on probiotic supplements, natural alternatives may represent a more effective and safer option. A balanced, fiber-rich diet is considered one of the best measures to support the microbiome in the long term, especially after antibiotic therapy. Although no specific amount, such as the commonly recommended target of 30 grams per day, is mentioned, studies show that fiber promotes the diversity and stability of the gut flora. Foods like whole grains, legumes, vegetables, and fruits act like fertilizer for beneficial bacteria. Additionally, the role of fermented foods such as kefir, sauerkraut, kombucha, or kimchi is often emphasized as they provide a natural source of living microorganisms. While these specific examples have not been directly confirmed in the sources, fermented foods are known to support the microbiome naturally. Interestingly, initial positive changes in the microbiome from a targeted dietary change can often be observed within a few weeks, although no exact time frame is established by the sources. The sources also emphasize that the recovery of the microbiome after antibiotic treatment can take several weeks to months. In rare cases, longer-term changes may occur, underscoring the importance of a sustainable and individually tailored approach to diet and microbiome support. In summary, probiotic supplements are not inherently bad, but their use requires more understanding and precision. Instead of generic products, a balanced diet and personalized recommendations may provide the greatest benefit. Remember, the key to your health often lies in individuality. Considering the complex interactions between probiotics, the microbiome, and individual health, it is crucial to make informed decisions. What choice will you make for your microbiome? Feel free to discuss in the comments. And as always, we wish everyone a long, healthy, and happy life. Until next time.